the lead round.
Final quarter coming up at Windy Hill with Essendon leading 10-17-77 to St Kilda 7-9-51. The Saints badly need a couple of goals. Side bottom, tapping the ball out. There's Duperuzal for St Kilda trying to gain control. Picked up by Reid. Hand pass taken by Boyd and not wasting any time on the left half-back flank. Hurting Essendon with a good long kick up towards the half-forward line for the Bombers. Davis gets fragged. Was he in possession? The umpire says no. And it'll be a free kick to Alan Davis at the left half-forward flank for the Bombers. Davis, for Essendon so far, has kicked 3 goals. He's a long way from goal here. We'll see what he can do. It's at the Bombers going for their first win in 10 matches, if we count last week. Brought down by Watson. Watson has kicked 4 goals for Essendon so far. He's also kicked about 3 or 4 points too, hasn't he? Comes in, shoots for goal and has popped it through. So Essendon go further ahead. St Kilda 7-9-51. Essendon with that goal 11-17-83.
And that goal coming within about 35 seconds of the start of this last quarter. Tim Watson's been a real great force. That's the difference between the two sides. At least the Bombers have got someone to take a big mark down there in the forward line, and St Kilda's forward line has been hopeless. I don't think there's been one big mark taken down there all day. They've just been swamped by the strong defence of Essendon. Their big guns have been out of business all day. Simon Madden's controlled the ruck. Side bottom and Saru have hardly been sighted. The ball back again, knocked away by Cunningham. Oh, he overran that time, Scanlon, but the ball is finally picked up by Neagle. Back here to Mars. Mars spins away nicely. It's a bad kick, but it's okay. Fletcher's got it there and plenty of time to do so. He's grabbed by Barker. He's been a quiet player too, as we see Scanlon fumble the ball. A chance for Saru to tap it onto Barker, but neither can get a good play this time by Fletcher. That was sheer determination. Back there towards Van der Haar. He was in plenty of trouble in that third quarter. I think he's had his number taken for having a go at side, but a long kick. Oh, golly, it must be 80 metres right up there towards and it's Merritt, the boy that came on. That's the difference I mentioned before, the two sides. That we see that Essendon have got fellas that can take marks around that goal area. Watson, Madden, and now this boy Merritt. And on the other hand, St Kilda haven't got a soul down there to take a mark. I think the evidence has been about 57 marks to 30 marks for the total of marks for the day. And he's put it through. Okay, St Kilda, 7 goals, 9. 51 points. To Essendon streaking away at the moment. 12 goals, 17-89, and we've only played 2 minutes into this last quarter.
It was an interesting statistic. The Essendon president, Colin Stubbs, told us at lunchtime there that Essendon have lost 10 games straight if we count last year. They lost their last 8 straight, and of course they've lost 2 so far this season, but they look like they're going to break the ice this afternoon, don't they?
Well, they've dominated the air today too, haven't they, Peter? There's no doubt about that. St Kilda have shown now they're lacking a bit of aerial power.
That's for sure with Madden and then Merritt. We saw Watson take a good mark before too. The Saints valiantly trying to get the ball out of the centre, but they don't succeed. Mansfield for Essendon does though. Fires the ball up towards the forward line. Here's Watson again, showing a clean pair of heels to Breen. Spins around, fires the ball again. Essendon racing away. That's his 5th goal for the afternoon. Essendon 7-9-51. St Kilda 7-9-51. Essendon 13-17-95.
Golly, it'd be just about a miracle because they're playing poorly. Knocked out by Madden again, who's dominated the centre bounces. Down they go, and a free kick to Green at centre, a little short of centre field. Yes, the crowd couldn't go quick at that. Every time side bottom goes near the ball, you'd think he had the plague or something. They all start hooting from the time he starts to get a gallop up. Out it goes. There's Saru trying to get it back. A left foot kick, a hurried one down there. Going after Fletcher, taps it on. Picked up now. Chance there for Satori. Could it be a goal? It hit the post, I think. No, it's a goal. That was Bond that kicked it, I think.
Yep.
It was Bond that kicked it.
There's somebody down in the centre too, Lou. It looks like a player from Essendon with cramp.
That was Bond that kicked that at the 4-minute mark, and that's put them back within firing range. 8 goals, 9-57, but still a long way to go to Essendon 13-17-95 at the 4-minute mark, and goals are just raining here at the moment.
Madden going down to the forward line with a little bit of cramp. We have an infringement at the centre square area, and the free kick will be taken by Gary Sidebottom towards half forward. That kick by Sidebottom. Mansfield trying to gain control of the ball, and well shepherded, gets his kick in eventually, and a good clearing what it was too towards half forward, knocked away from Van der Haar, a chance for Green, who comes out, but coming out from the opposite direction is O'Day. His hand pass is taken by Thomas, who started off the game in fine style, back to Green. Green in turn up over the half-forward line for the St Kilda side. Burns shepherds, but it goes to an Essendon player in Scanlon. And Scanlon in turn a short pass out towards Marsh, who gets grabbed. Has he got the ball? The ball was a free kick, and it's going to Marsh. Now he's called play on. Bit of weight being used behind him there. Look at Marsh go! What a racehorse this fellow is. Cleverly avoids. He'll have to kick the ball now. Look at he's run his full 10 metres down towards Matt. He's got it! I'll tell you what, there you were spot on when you said that Essendon have got a few players up forward to take marks.
That's the difference between the two sides, and also the dominance of Madden in the ruck feet.
And he has a chance now to bring up his, let's see, he's already kicked one, a chance for his second. I don't see any leads being made. He'll have a shot for goal from there. There is some daylight between the posts. It's not a very deep pocket. Simon Madden, one of Essendon's best today, and they've had many good players, comes in from 20 metres out, tries the banana kick. I don't think successful because he's put it out of bounds, or is it a point? We'll wait for the goal umpire's decision. He's got a point. It just scraped in for that too, I think. So 8-9-57 St Kilda, Essendon 13-18, 96, 6 minutes into the last quarter.
Waiting now for Barry Green to get the ball back into play. He's had a torrid time down there too, trying to cope with those big marks. Of course, they've quietened Van der Haar down, but that's not enough. There's Madden, there's Watson, there's quite a few of them down there. Danaher trying to take these marks. A good mark taken out here now to little Bennett. He goes for a short pass. Getting up high, they couldn't get the ball. Here's Watson again. This spell Staines as he fires for the goals. What's the result? It's back for a goal. Yes, another goal. That's his sixth goal. Oh, they're just running over the top of St Kilda. 14 goals, 18, 102 points St Kilda. Essendon, I should say, to St Kilda. 8 goals, 9, 57. We've only played 6.5 minutes of this last quarter. It's all Essendon at the moment. They're just tearing St Kilda to pieces.
A match-winning move by Barry Davis, putting Watson in the goal square there. That's where he seems to be playing.
Watson, after having a bad trot kicking, I think 1 goal, 4 and 1 out of bounds, has now kicked 4 goals straight, and of course he's been a match winner down there on the forward line. Ball knocked out by big side bottom. Satori gets it out wide, but there's Boyd in the way. Can't quite pick it up. He's clear now. He's broken clear. They're letting him go easily, St Kilda. Up it goes there to Thomas. He misses the ball. Davis, he'll look for someone. He's going for a pass. What's the result? He's got Watson. And it about Davis. He won't waste the kick. He's a marvel. I suppose on his day would be one of the best players in the league for using football intelligence. No doubt about that. And of course he's got a chance now for Watson to kick his 7th goal. Watson's only about 35 metres out, if that. As I said before, he was off target early, but by God, he's come back with vengeance now. The shot is okay. It's through for his 7th goal. And they go to 15 goals, 18, 108 points. To St Kilda, 8 goals, 9, 57. And they're fell in a heap, St Kilda.
So far this quarter, Essendon have added 5 goals. 5 goals, 1 actually, and St Kilda have added the 1 solitary goal, so not good enough by St Kilda. In fact, after half-time, it's all Essendon because St Kilda failed to score a goal in that very torrid third quarter. Back into the centre, and the Essendon fans really revelling in this at the moment because their side has really hit its straps for the first time this season. They showed a glimpse of it against North Melbourne when they went down by 20 points. Bennett leading them up towards half-forward now, and a safe mark should be brought down there for St Kilda by Evans. Evans' kick up towards Barker. Magnificent mark from Trevor Barker. He took one like that against Hawthorn in the goal square, which we didn't see anything of.
Been a pretty quiet play today, Peter, just to say.
Since the first quarter, though, he played fairly well early, but had a quiet second and third terms, and that's probably the mark of the day by Trevor Barker. Barker in turn up towards the forward line. He's looking for a big mark down there, but they haven't got any, and that's been the case all day. Marsh gets caught with the ball and drops it. Should be a free to St Kilda, and in fact it is the case to be taken for them by Carter. Carter within kicking distance, some 35 metres out from goal, maybe 40. Pretty well directly in front. The wind's carrying it offline though, and it will be through for 1 point to St Kilda when they badly need goals. So 15-18, 108 Essendon, St Kilda 8-10, 58. The difference is an even 50 points here at the Windy Hill ground. Shaw, short pass to Day. Day, the topping the state recruit for the Bombers this year. There's side bottom. Oh, Sir Daisy, that's giving it away, isn't it?
Well, he was in the right that time, side bottom, because he was tapped on the leg with the boot that time, Peter.
Call play on by the umpire, and there's no love lost between these two sides. It's going to be a free kick to Essendon, and it'll be taken down there by little Bennett. The call play on from the umpire. Bennett going up towards the centre looking for Davis. It's punched away from him just at the last minute. A chance for it to be picked up by Saru. Saru over to Bond was good football. Bond and turned up to Satori. Satori steadies, but a high kick doesn't cover that much distance. In fact, I think it may be over the line. Yes, it is. And it'll be a penalty free kick to be taken for Essendon.
Peter, I noticed that side bottom is in the hands of the trainers after that incident. He's got a bad knee and he's at the centre half forward position. Doesn't look too good to me, and this will be a big blow for St Kilda. They couldn't win this match now, but for the rest of the season. Out it goes to Reid. And Reid's got it on his own. Gets a little short kick to Bennett in trouble, but he eludes Burns that time and got the ball clear. A short pass, it's okay. And a mark taken here by Vanderhaar. The Bombers are everywhere. There seems to be about 150 players out there for them at the moment. Up it goes to the full forward zone. There comes Madden out. He's got it now. He'll turn a snap for goal, and what do we say? It's through. Oh, it's raining goals for the Bombers at the moment. 16 goals, 18, 114 points to St Kilda. 8 goals, 10, 58. Only played 11 minutes. Side bottom now back on his feet, but still limping a bit there too. Waiting to come on the ground. His big disher probably replacing side bottom, but side bottom is limping as he walks down to the forward pocket position. It'll be a bit of a blow for the rest of the season. I say this fella's got a bad knee, Peter.
Well, they're a little bit lacking in height at the moment, Lou, as we've mentioned a couple of times in this quarter. And if they lose side bottom, they're even worse off than before. Saru's doing the ruck work now. He's been very quiet today. Duperouzal with a chance to pick up. It gets collared quickly, and a chance here for Reid. The ball out towards the half-forward flank on the outer side. It'll beat both Reid and also O'Keefe to be thrown back into play. I see Sidebottom is still out there, and Disher now going back to the bench, so he must be okay. And let's hope so for St Kilda's sake, because he's a player that they depend on greatly. Throw in, Saru got high but missed the ball completely. Bond, a little quick kick up towards half-forward. They all miss it again. Here's a chance for Carter. He fisted back. Satori's there for St Kilda. Spins out of the pack well, but a bad hand pass goes to Scanlon, and he gives it over to Mansfield in turn. Mansfield up towards half-forward. Oh, they all misjudged the flight of that particular kick. Thomas is in there. Danaher for Essendon. Thomas burst his way through with pure strength. His hand pass is intended for Green. It wasn't a good one, but he picks it up. Marsh is very fast. Has to kick it hurriedly to half-forward now. Evans is underneath the ball. Too short. And a fine mark taken by Neil Danaher. Both Danahers have played well today. That kick smothered. Evans on top of it. Danaher backs up again. And it'll be a ball up on the half-forward line for St Kilda with 12 and a half minutes gone in the final quarter.
There it goes now. Matt doing a great job. Got that knockout again. It comes down to Barker. Barker gets clear of the pack. Has a running shot for goal, but it's off target. And it'll be out of bounds, and a penalty free kick will go down there to Shure in that back pocket position. 114 points, Essendon to St Kilda 58, and we've played, as Peter said before, just on the 13-minute mark of this last quarter. The Bombers have kicked how many goals to this quarter? Let's see.
6, Louis.
6 goals to this quarter, and I think St Kilda only 1. And of course, St Kilda have failed badly up forward. They've got no one to take a mark. On the other hand, they've got plenty down there for the Bombers. They're marking all over the place. Trying to get clear now, and they just can't break. They're tackling very hard, Estes. We see the ball driven away there by Mansfield, back towards centre half forward, but this time it's a good safe mark by Thomas out there on that wing position. He's kicking right across the ground, not gaining much distance at all. Barker in front's got a mark. Took a magnificent mark just about 5 minutes ago, and a 15-metre penalty against Mars. This brings him right down to nearly the edge of the square. Kicks it out to the attacking side of the ground. Oh, golly. Neagle got up high, but he recovered well. But they just stood down and watched that time. St Kilda, he takes the ball away, down towards the half-forward line. There's Terry Danaher going. He's got on top of his opponent, but he didn't get that one. Finally picked up by Day. Too slow to get rid of it. This allows Thomas to get clear now and kick the ball back towards centre field again. At the back there is Scanlon, a great mark. They're flying right over the top of them, the Bombers. They're really soaring. Up it goes now. Punched away by Vanderhaar. Back to Vanderhaar again from Danaher. And a running shot for goal. Another one comes up. Okay, they go to 17 goals, 18, 120 points. To St Kilda, 8 goals, 10, 58.
Well, Vanderhaar is finding a little bit of form late in the game. Unfortunately, though, it does appear he has had his number taken for Essendon. But of course, that will be found out a little bit later on. He was involved in an incident with Gary Sidebottom in the third term, about which we won't say anything more. There's Simon Madden, possibly, well, you couldn't say he was best on the ground, because that'd be taking something away from Tim Watson.
Well, also the two Danahers have played well, but Simon Madden's been a real force here today. He's dominated the ruck, and of course he's been a very valuable player around the ground, taking marks as well as on the forward line. Terry Danaher's been a very good player, and his brother Neil, and the entire, there's a lot of good players for the Bombers.
Ruck duels again, going St Kilda's way this time. Carter couldn't do much with it. Mansfield does, and breaks away from the pack again. Essendon have got it away from the centre bounce so many times, and here's Davis now.
He's been a pretty handy player too.
Well, we couldn't leave him out of the best players either. He's already kicked 3 goals for Essendon, and has a chance to bring up his 4th from about 35 to 40 metres out, pretty well directly in front. Alan Davis shoots for goal. I don't think he's made any mistake, or has he? We'll wait for the goal umpire. Raining goals for Essendon as they round off this match with a very, very resounding effort. 8-10-58 St Kilda. Essendon now 18-18, 126.
Well, they've lost 10 games straight, including 8 last year and the first 2 this year, but they've come back with a vengeance today, and St Kilda, after having a glorious day last week against the Hawthorn, are right back in the hot seat because their form has been woeful today. Another new ball. That's the 3rd for the day, I think.
Well, they've got it back now.
Got it back again down the other end. OK, there's plenty of honest people out here at Essendon. OK, we wait now for the centre bounce. Madden against Saru. I said before, Madden's dominated the centre bounces and all around the ground against the bigger St Kilda players. Let's see whether they can get this one. Getting into position. This is a bad bounce. Knocked out by Saru. Over to Duke Peruzzi. He's cleared. He's grabbed by Bennett. Finally gets a kick down there, but let's see what happens here now. Ball pushed away from Evans. Scanlon trying to get out. Couldn't do so. They're all missing. Finally, it's picked up here by Bennett, who hooks the ball back there towards that half-forward line. Pushed away by Thomas to the wrong man. This gives him a chance, so he goes back into a game on a good long punch, but Simon Madden doesn't attempt to pick it up. He goes for a soccer kick out there wide, and that's out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in out towards Essendon's half-forward line. They've kicked for this quarter, I think, about 8 goals, haven't they?
Right.
8 goals to 1. So you can see they're well on top. They all miss that one as it comes down to Mansfield. Hooks the ball back, looking there for Terry Danaher, but it's a bit too long. Danaher going after, taps it out, trying to find his teammate Merritt that time, but Merritt's got a chance to pick it up now. Out it goes to Davis. This is dangerous. He's going to go for a hand pass. Over it goes to Watson. Back to Davis again. He run into an open goal and fire. What's he done with it? He's put it through. Oh, that's their 9th goal for the quarter. Oh, the Bombers are flying high. 19 goals, 18. 132 with the St Kilda side. 8 goals, 10, 58, and they look a pretty poor side at the moment.
And I think Lou summed it up pretty well with those words. They did look a pretty poor side at that stage of the game. St Kilda, they played a lot better earlier, with the end result being that the Saints actually led at half-time, 7-6 to 6-10. But if you look at the scores closely, Essendon coming right away in the final term. After half-time, St Kilda adding only 2 goals. Watson got 7 for Essendon and Davis 5. Keith 3 for St Kilda. Essendon had many good players, but possibly the 3 best would have been Watson, Madden and Terry Danaher. For the Saints, Thomas, O'Keefe and Bond were their best. One bad result insofar as Essendon concerned. Van der Haar was reported by boundary umpire Nichols and field umpire Chapman on a charge of allegedly striking Gary Sidebottom of St Kilda in the 3rd quarter, and he will appear before the VFL Tribunal.